All right, this is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 123. I know I lied the last episode. I thought the last episode was 123, but this is actually 123. I have a special guest back in the building. How are you?
Oh, we really started.
Yeah, for sure.
You didn't give me like no
Hey,
5, 4,
hey,
3,
nope,
2.
nope.
All right.
Turn it on. Gotta turn it on.
Okay.
How are you? Answer the question, lady.
I'm okay.
Oh, we're gonna start like this?
No, seriously.
Okay.
I honestly feel like you know that morning message that I'd be sending out. Like I feel like so many people would be so further along in their mental health journeys if they could just be honest about how they feel. Like I'm okay. I'm not bad. I ain't great.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And that's okay. If you're okay, it's okay to be okay. It's okay to be not okay. But if you all right, it's cool. So that's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. So I know you wanted to talk about dating. Was there anything?
Don't say I wanted to talk about it.
You literally said it.
Yeah, but like, whose podcast is this? Like,
Yeah.
Because then if I say something and somebody watches this and be like, "Oh, she's talking about me," then it's gonna be a problem.
I mean, people can interpret it anything they want to from this podcast. That people have learned as well because
They're gonna know. He's gonna know. Or she. It's like, no.
Hey, we're learning some things about C.
I'm joking.
So, what do you want to talk about?
How are you?
That is a great question. No one ever asked me how I'm doing on my podcast.
Nobody ever asked you.
Like, have you ever heard anyone ask me how I'm doing? Mm-hmm. That's fucked
It was
up.
probably still me. It's probably still me. I care.
That's fucked up. But no, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just trying to afford living here in Austin. Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
You talking to somebody who has a mortgage, and I pay a mortgage in Liberty Hill.
I worked
I don't even. Can we redact that? Why did I say that?
Liberty Hill. Where? Where? No one knows where that is.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my god, you're acting like you haven't done this before.
I know. But
Why are you so nervous, yo?
people are weird. People are weird.
I don't think someone's gonna come try to find you.
I hope not. It would not be smart of you.
Wouldn't be a good look.
I will
but
not call 911.
Yikes!
You will need 911, but I won't call 911.
Yikes! Why are we getting so dark? Why are you so awkward right now?
Am I awkward?
Yeah.
I've had a really hard couple of months, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got surgery. You know, I was in a wheelchair for 2.5 months. I got surgery on both of my feet. I gained a bunch of weight. I was already overweight, and I gained even more weight. I'm very upset about that. Now I have to have surgery again on Tuesday, so I'm going back in a boot for another 8 weeks. And like, I just had a lot of family stuff going on. Yeah. It just like really, really brought me down. So I'm just happy to be in the company of like positive people. You know what I mean? Like nice people, good vibes, good times. But yeah, I'm honestly, if I had to, because like I was telling my friend this morning, I was like, sometimes God doesn't change your situation because he needs you to sit there, right? Mm-hmm. And figure out what it is that you're supposed to learn. And I truly wholeheartedly, because this person's in a transitional period, I feel like for me, that was after Protect America went out of business, right? Like I was out of work
Rest
for
in
a
peace.
year. No, rest in peace. I was out of work for a year, right? And like I was so frustrated. I'm like, I have all these credentials. I got this great degree. I went to like all this stuff. Like, why is it so hard to find a job? Mind you, that was a silly question because the whole world was looking for work.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I needed rest. Like I had been working since I was 14 years old. You know what I mean? Like I had went through a lot in the workforce period, trying to climb the corporate ladder a lot at that company specifically. And like, I just really needed to refocus, right? But my goal for so long has been money, get money, financial freedom, get money. Got to take all these people, got to take care of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I was so beyond my bandwidth. I was exhausted in every aspect of the word, physical, emotional, mental. Like I just was so overextended. Like even though I was frustrated in that time and I lost a lot, I gained so much of myself back, right? And it really showed me a lot. Like there are people, mind you, again, we were in a global pandemic, but there really are people who, I just seen this video a while ago, and it was basically saying like, somebody was talking about a Bible verse, right? And it was like, my cup runneth over. And it was like, people are supposed to get the overflow. Like you're not supposed to fill their cup up. They're supposed to get the overflow of you, right? And I pour into people, which I don't ever complain about, right? Because like my mom calls me a weaver, right? Like there are people in the universe who bring people together, bring situations together, resources together, right? To like help make things whole. And I'm happy to be that person. But you can't pour from an empty cup. And I have been pouring from an empty reservoir. You know what I mean? So it really helped me to put into perspective, like there are people that 100% I've helped that maybe I enabled, right? And then because of that, I actually didn't help them at all. I prolonged their journey because I made it too easy for them. Like my mom always talks about, like we talked about this before on the pod, like how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, right? But there was an instance where a scientist, I believe, had did an experiment where he actually opened up cocoon to try to let the caterpillar out. But that process of breaking out of the cocoon, even as like graphic and like horrific as it is, it's pertinent because it builds up the strength to fly. So because it didn't have the ability to go through that transitional period where it had to build up that gust of those wings to break out, it died. So I think about that now. Like, yes, like, do I have the ability to help some people? Yes. Should I help? That's where I always have to, like, and I really, at this point,
was a fine line.
Yeah, going to God about it. Like, is this something that you want me to do? Or do I just need to mind my business? Because maybe they're going through this because you're trying to teach them something, and I just jump in trying to save, and they're never going to learn that lesson, and then they're going to be right back here because I jumped in when I shouldn't have jumped in. I should have just prayed for them and told them to go to you, and everything would be okay. Because I had to learn how to do that. Like I was talking to somebody, me and my mom always talk about, people say they believe in God, but you can believe that God is real. Wonderful, right? Whichever God you choose to believe in, or whatever. But to believe in God and believe that He can change your situation, believe that He can be your help, believe that He would not leave you, like all of those things, like that type of belief, a lot of people actually really don't have.
See, that's the C we were needing from the start. See, that's all you had to do. All you had to do is unawkward yourself a little bit and then just go.
Am I being awkward?
You were being kind of awkward.
One is
don't
hot,
lie to her.
and I can't, because I'm dressed like a little thought bucket. I can't take this coat off. But
it is hot. Shout out to the AC not working.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what what I wanted to start this off with?
What?
As a guest, I have been guest to people's homes, to people's establishments, and I get gifts. I get drink, lemon. Y'all know I don't drink alcohol. A fresh lemonade. I'm with a chef. I ain't got fed. Last time I was here, he agreed to give me some type of basket. Like it could have been some summer sausage and cheese in there. Nothing.
I think you agreed. Like you agreed. I think you agreed to yourself that I should do that. I don't think I agreed to that. And if I did, it's not on camera. So who knows? Who knows?
Because I know I'm not geeking. That's crazy.
I really don't feel like I would say that.
And Christmas season at that.
Yeah, facts. See that hat?
Crazy. I like that. Is that Nightmare Before Christmas?
I think. Is that what it is? Yep, that's what it is.
I've actually never ever seen that. I don't like scary stuff.
I never watched that. Is that the clay animation shit? Is that the clay animation thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just watched it this week because I'm reading the Disney has like Twisted Tales, so they do little spin-offs of this, like what if this would have happened. So I had to watch the movie to understand the background. But it's not a bad movie. It was really good.
Yeah. You know what movies I just watched and I was so underwhelmed?
What?
But they were like super popular.
What?
The Doom series.
Oh, I could not get into watching that movie. I started the first one. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I'll watch anything with Zendaya. I'll watch anything with her. I love her, right? But like I'm watching it and like I ain't gonna hold you. I had to go on TikTok and watch a synopsis because I was like, I feel like I didn't get out of this. I was supposed to get out of this, right? But like to me, it's just like Avatar, is it not?
I've never.
You didn't get all the way through it. So
I didn't watch Avatar either. So
it's very white savior. Very.
They came out really religious in the first like 10 seconds, and I was very confused.
And it's not really religious, but like my thing is like it's like, oh, here's this man who is the only person that can save this land with all these native people who don't know anything, even though they've been surviving there for millions of years and they know everything about the planet, but it takes you to go and change things around. And like he falls in love with a native girl. I'm like, this is Avatar.
Okay.
This is all those premise type movies. I'm like, very underwhelming. And his acting, like everybody just acting like he was the best. I can think of 6 actors that would have did that better than him.
I literally tried to watch it and could not. And funny story about Avatar, I actually bought tickets to go watch that movie when it first came out, thinking it was the Avatar Last Airbender. So when the movie started, I was so confused. I'm like, where the fuck is Aang at?
That's funny.
And I walked out. I didn't watch the movie.
That's Airbender. That's what's that stuff? Anime.
Yeah. But I thought it was a live action one.
That's hilarious. You didn't see no previews?
No.
You didn't know this big blue people?
I thought that was like a bad guy or something. Like I legit went to the movie theater, purchased the ticket thinking it was the Airbender bald guy with the arrow on his head.
Child.
So yeah, funny story. But do you want to talk about dating like you said off this podcast? Do you want to talk about dating? And what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
That's crazy. You know what? We can talk about dating since you
since I
would
wanted
like to talk about that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It was definitely me.
It's rough out here, man.
Is it?
It's rough. It is. And like I keep seeing these posts that are pissing me off. They're like, oh, I want a relationship like our grandparents. They were married for 30 years. Check this out.
Mima had to go through some shit.
Listen, and like, I do agree that relationships definitely had much more longevity back then, but to what avail? You know what I mean? Like, I know, I was just telling somebody this. I feel like every time I was like, I was just telling somebody this, but I really was. Like, I have lots of conversation. I have a couple of married friends. I only have 2 pairs of married friends who are truly married because they met their person. And they were like, I want to spend my life with you. I want to build a life with you. I want to create this family. You're my person. Everybody else I know that's married is like, well, we've been together for a long time, so it makes sense. We got kids, so it makes sense. So we run a business together, so it makes like, I don't want because it made sense relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in the institution of marriage. And though my grandma used to say that marriage is about business and broke people made it about love, I do agree that marriage is very much a business agreement. For me, that love aspect has to be there. And these days, it just feels like it's so difficult. And a lot of it is ego, right? And I've been doing a lot of work on separating myself from my ego. And literally at least 10 times a day, I'm like, somebody says something or something happens, and I feel myself about to spaz. I'm like, Ciera, ego. And
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean ego? Like things should go your way because you're you type shit?
No, not at all. When I say separate myself from my ego, like we're all aware that like everybody is walking their own path, right? Mm-hmm. We used to work together. Mm-hmm. You might have came in, and I'd be like, "Hey, Calvin," and you'd be like, "I'm like, damn, like he ain't give me the hello he used to give me. Like, are we not friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like separate yourself from your ego. Like, everything really is not about you, right? But for relationships, so
I wouldn't have said hi either. I was very quiet at that job. So, but I'm just making for reference.
Anyway, so for relationships, right? There was an instance where I had a relationship with someone, and it went on much longer than it should have, right?
Oh, those are the best ones.
Yeah, it went on much longer than it should have. And for the sake of transparency, me and this person were friends, right? And we had a true friendship. But there was an extra part of that friendship, right? That as far as friendships are concerned, is inappropriate, right? But even though I knew that this hurt this person, like I knew that they wanted to be more than just friends with me, but I was very happy with the way things were. Like, yeah, I come around when I want to come around. We get to enjoy this time, and then I get to go on about my day. Mm-hmm. I don't go to everybody's feelings. I don't have to deal with the reality of the daily you. You know what I mean? Like, this gets to be fun. We get to keep it fun. But, like, it's very selfish, right? But ego tells me I'm still going to do it because even though this hurts them, they will take whatever capacity of me they can have, right? And that is a shitty thing to do to somebody. And even though, like, it's subconscious, right? Because, like, in my mind, I'm not thinking that I'm hurting somebody. I'm not doing it like, oh, I don't care if this hurts you, right? But I'm just trying to satisfy me. But you can't have it both ways, because even if I'm just trying to do something to satisfy myself and I'm not trying to be malicious or nasty or hurtful, if that is the result and I'm aware that that is the result, that's still selfish. And that's still shitty, right? So for ego, like even in like the friendship that I'm in now, and I say that lightly because please know we are not friends, but not to be here, I'm like, my man, that's not my man, but he's my man. It's a lot, right? Because like, especially like, I like to be open, right? About like, okay, like you have past experiences. I know that you dated other people before me, and those experiences are relevant to the way that you feel about things, the way that things trigger you, right? But like sometimes it drives me nuts, just like knowing that like, you've been with somebody else. Gosh, you know what I mean? Especially because like with experiences, like we talked about the other day, like, it's a little frustrating. Like this person has had so many experiences with their past relationship because it was expanded beyond like 12 years. There's not a lot that we can really do together that they haven't already done with somebody else, right? And it's just like, the ego on me is like, I don't even want you then. Like, if I can't have you the way I want you, I don't want you. But like, the reality of it is, people are so much more complex and valuable than that. And like, to get to a space where if I can't have this the way that I want it, is it still worth having? Right? Because I would want someone to look at me as if, okay, I may not be her first love. I may not be the first person she's lived with. I may not be the first person that she's done X, Y, and Z with. But is she still worth loving? Is she still worth giving patience to? Is she still worth understanding? And you have to take your ego out of that to be able to exist in any space with somebody else, but especially in a relationship, because when you can get rid of ego, then you can welcome compassion. So it's hard though. I ain't gonna lie.
And that's why you think like dating's difficult?
Absolutely. I mean, don't even get me started on social media. Social media is like the worst thing ever. And it's funny because I was thrifting today and I was buying lots of books, right? Because I have like this really nice, these 2 bookshelves in my office. I was like, I want books. But like, I honestly feel like, what if there's a time in the future where the internet is no longer accessible to us? Like, there's so much information that will be lost.
There's a
people just wouldn't even.
What's his name? What's that actor's name? Does James Franco have a little brother or something?
Yeah.
There's a movie that was, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but like it's that exact premise. Like the internet is shut down and books become illegal. So you have to sneak books to get knowledge because no one knows much of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep going.
I can't think of his name. I like him though. He was in the first thing that I see him in was Neighbors. He was like the frat president or whatever.
You're right.
But he looks like the alleged suspect of the CEO of United Healthcare. He looks like him. They're like, they're going to cast him to play this movie. Yeah,
that's funny.
They do look alike. But yeah, so I like to have books. How did we get there? We're talking about books.
Like at some point in time, the internet and the technology.
Social media.
Yeah.
Social media has ruined the world as much as it's helped it. Like, as much as it's improved us and brought us together, it has torn us apart. Like, it's created, like, it's so crazy. Like, would it be 20 years ago? Let's say 30 years ago, right? You could literally leave your wife. A man could leave his wife, move 10 minutes down the street, start a whole nother family, and nobody would know. Nobody would know. You went to kindergarten, and maybe you moved. You would never see them people again, right? Like, there are people who keep in contact. Like, I'm friends with a lot of my previous educators, right? Like, one of my favorite teachers from the 3rd grade. Like, I just messaged him the other, like, we talk. Like, I have access to these people. And like, a big problem with that, however, is that everyone truly is in our life for seasons, right? Some seasons last, but some are truly temporary. And the thing is, because people have constant access to us, we are now not allowed to go through seasons of our life because people always have the ability to reach out, to know what you're doing, to keep up with you. And that's not how things are supposed to be. And I remember very specifically, I had a best friend in, growing up. And like, I remember in high school, like, I could just feel like we were growing apart. Like, we would have to do constructive things to have fun. We'd have to go like bowling or skating, or like just do anything to like really have fun together. And it sucks so bad because this used to be somebody like I could just lay on the floor with and just have the best time ever, right? But like, our season was ending, right? But like, because there were so many different things that enabled us to keep contact. Like, we went away to college. I went to a completely different college, but phones and everything, we just still stayed in touch. And it got to the point where like, it was painful to be friends, and to the point where it's like, we just got to let this go. Like, no hard feelings. I don't hate you. You don't hate me. But like, we really are just two different people. We've grown in two different directions. People don't have the ability to do that. And because you are very much the circle that you keep, right? We're influenced by people, and more importantly, not influenced by the right people, because we don't have the courage or the access to move into these other spaces. I remember when I moved to Vegas, I felt like, I always tell people, I felt like I met myself for the first time. Like, I lived in Vegas and I didn't know anybody other than the people that had moved me there, right? So like, I didn't know anybody, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go here. And I'm like, oh wait, I actually don't like doing that. I only do that because my friends do it, right? And then I'm like, oh, the mountains, they're gorgeous. If you've ever been to Nevada or anywhere on the west, like, the mountains are beautiful. I was like, I want to go hiking. I never gone hiking before because none of my friends ever wanted to hike. So I started doing things. I'm like, okay, I'm here now. I'm by myself. Who am I? Do I know who I am? Like, I couldn't even spend time by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I was somebody who couldn't go out to eat, couldn't go to the movies. And like, I really forced myself to do things on my own and really just have that time of solidarity. And like, who am I? And what do I like? And it really was so wonderful because I'm like, wow, like, now I know who I am. Like, I had a concept before, but like, I can say steadfast, I know who I am, and I can set those boundaries. Hey, it's cool. And acts of service is my love language. So there are things that I will do with people just because I love them, want to spend time with them, but it's just not my type. He's like, I'll tell you, my best friend, he's like not in a good mood right now. So he was like, oh, let's go to, what does it feel to scream or something? I'm like, now, I don't like scary stuff. But I told myself, like, all right, I'll go, right? Just because like, it's not about me, ego. Like, I want to spend time with you. But it's like, yeah, like, it really was so crazy. I'm like, man, like, I have been living a life that is not my own, and it is my own, but it's been like a representative of me because this is not really who I am. And at I was 24 when I moved to Vegas. I didn't know who I was, and that was scary. Like, I'm living on my own. I'm paying my own bills. Like, I am solely responsible for me, and I don't know who I am.
I don't think like I've ever had that problem. Like, my friends, no one can get me to do something I don't want to do.
Oh, I know.
And that's been me my whole life. Literally, like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. Like, whether it's to hang out with you or not, we'll hang out at a different time. Like, I don't care. I lose friendships over that shit. Like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do it. Then why are you asking me to do it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's like drinking. Like, I got to a point where I realized, like, when I decided that I wasn't going to drink alcohol anymore, some people were like, all right, we don't care, right? And then you'd be like, okay, well, hey, let's go to happy hour at this place, but they have really good food, right? Like, okay, like, let's make this enticing for you as well. But like, I got to a point where I realized there were certain people, because I had operated in that space for a long time. I was a very popular bartender back home. I went to Vegas and I was bartending, right? So like, they were used to being in a certain space with me. And that's really kind of where we had the best connection, because we turning up. I'm like a ball of fun. I'm a great time, right? But I'm still a good time sober. Right? But that's not the person that you want, and you only want to spend time with me in these spaces. And I've already expressed to you, this isn't fun to me anymore, right? So if you keep inviting me into these spaces, you just want to have anybody there. You don't want me there, because if you want me there, you should also want me to have a good time, and me, and so that's something that I really had to really kind of stand down on. Like,
My brother still to this day tries to get me into a bar or a club. I don't go to clubs. I don't go to bars. I don't. It's not like, it's legit. It's legit not fun for me.
Even with me and my brother were just talking about this. Like, people, I feel like I'm the last. I can't remember how old you are.
32.
Oh wow. So maybe you was in the club when I was in the club. In the club. But so like, but you remember, so like, well, I graduated college 2013, right? We was outside then, okay? And like, it was fun. Like, section culture hadn't started yet. Like, the tables were there. If you wanted to sit down, cool. You didn't have to buy nothing. And like, mind you, I'm from the DMV. Like, I'm from Baltimore. And I graduated school in Prince George's County, Maryland. And I went to, like, my nightlife experience started in DC, right? DC in 2009 to 2013, even, I mean, like, the pinnacle, like, we had so much, like, people, it was, I can't even get into the stories, right? But like, it was so much fun. But like, when we went out, my best friend was like, this is why we were so skinny back then, because we was throwing ass for 8 hours, like, just having so much fun. Like, people danced, phones really weren't a thing because social media wasn't that big yet, right? Like we had MySpace like when you first got into college, and then like Instagram had just kind of came out, but it still really wasn't like a big thing. Like it wasn't super pretentious and people just trying to like be influencers. Like that wasn't a thing then. You know what I mean? So like people just still had so much fun. So much fun. And that is so gone. Like even having a section now, it's not fun in the section. Like I don't want to be in Gen Pop because I don't want to be touched by random people, but I still want to interact. You know what I mean? Like I want to like have fun, and like it just is not like everybody's phones out. And last time I went to the club, people were doing TikTok dances, and I was like, I mean, I get it, but like, come on.
TikTok dances in the club is nuts.
Nuts. Because that tells me that you got to be 18, and I don't want to be in any establishment where it's 18 and over.
Some grown men doing TikTok dances,
which is fine, right? It's okay. It's not the TikTok dances is a problem, right? It's just like I don't even know. I guess it's contradiction, but it's just silly to me. I'm like, what?
I think it was like a couple episodes ago. Maybe it was a lot of episodes ago. I don't remember, but I checked my usage, my phone usage, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm over here using my phone for 16 hours a day.
Oh, so that was one of my things for this year. My screen time is down to 6 hours.
See, I'll be trying to do that. I will just put my phone on the charger and just leave it be for hours. Like not even if someone's texting me or like reaching out, like it's just over there. Yeah. I've been trying to get it down because 16 to 17 hours is nuts. Crazy. That's nuts.
It's some people, I swear, every time I get on social media, because like Facebook's for family. Every time I get on social media, I be like, do you work? Like, how are you? There are people who post all day long. You would think they got paid for it.
That's me. I work from home. I just be on my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I work from home too, but still.
Yeah.
Crazy sauce.
So,
what do you think?
So social media. So you think social media is the reason the dating pool is not where it should be? Because
there are lots of reasons. That's a big part of it, right? Because think about it.
Is it because of access, or is it because people think they have all the options in the universe?
It's a happy medium of both, right? And also, like, you know what I always think is so funny, right? When guys and girls, right, like they post like celebrities and influencers and like people, they're just like if she ain't like this, I don't want it. Let me see your baby mother, because she don't look like that, and you want her. You be ready to crash a car. If you came in that house with another man in there, like you go crazy. So like they don't look alike. I seen your baby father. He wear the same jeans. You know what I mean? Over and over. Like that's not. You see what I'm saying? Like
that's not your type for real.
Yeah,
for real.
That's not your type for real, right? And it just makes people so crazy because they're just so pretentious. Like the thing that I like about TikTok, right? I get on TikTok, have no makeup on, hair maybe not like the best. You know what I mean? Like because I'm just like talking. Like it just feels like much more of a genuine space to where like Instagram. When I haven't been on Instagram in 3 years now. When I was on Instagram, I never even would have thought about that. Right, like if I'm posting something, especially because I use Instagram as like my backup fashion blog because Lookbook was kind of like one of the outs, right? But yeah, like I would never post anything that wasn't to be seen. To where like I feel like TikTok is just more genuine of a space. I mean, but even still, right? Like there is a terrible thing that has grown from social media about voyeurism and just wanting to be seen. People always wanting to watch other people, and then people always wanting to be watched, right? Like those videos of couples like, oh, spend the day with us are so cringe. Like y'all have moved this camera.
I watched this chick make a ham sandwich and it was like millions of views. Like literally she just made a ham sandwich.
Nuts. I feel like people be trolling like some of the stuff that they do just to see, like, because like you say, you watch a video, I'm like, are y'all paying for views? Like how did this video do these numbers?
Yeah, they are.
It's crazy.
They are. They're paying.
It's wild, but it's just so crazy to me. Especially because like I'm like, all right, so you got up, you're like, all right, about to do this. You brushed your teeth, did everything you needed to do, then laid back into bed after you set a camera up to just go back through the motions of doing all that stuff over again. It's the weirdest shit ever to me. It's so weird to me. It's weird to me that people do it. It's even weirder to me that people watch it.
I always ask people like that be crying on the internet, like how many takes did it take? Like
I know, because you know it wasn't like
it wasn't just right off. It wasn't one take. You
went live.
Facts. You edited this motherfucker. There's music in the background.
Yeah. I will say though, there is one creator that like I love so much. He is hilarious. Speedy Mormon.
Never heard of him.
I don't think so.
He's.
I don't like. I'm on the internet,
He's a
but I'm not
journalist.
like scrolling.
Gotcha. So Speedy Mormon is a journalist. Have you ever seen? This is like the video that I feel like the first thing I ever seen of Speedy, right, was he had interviewed Ray J, and Ray J was like, "These glasses are unbreakable," and Speedy was like, "I could break these."
Oh, I know the light skinned dude.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Speedy Mormon, right?
Oh, okay.
He's a fantastic journalist. He's so cool, right?
I think I
So,
watched.
like,
I think he like interviewed Kai or something at some point.
he's interviewed everybody.
Yeah.
360 with Speedy, literally everybody. President Obama, Kobe Bryant, everybody.
I did see that clip that you're talking
Yeah.
about with the Ray J and
Yeah. So I say all that to say that like I will watch when he's live because one, he's just super funny, but two, he like goes on live dates, right? So like people can like hit the button to join his like his multi-guest to get on his screen. And like he goes on like all these first dates and like they're so entertaining and he's just like so sweet and so nice. But like it's just very like interpersonal. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like okay, like I'm watching this person live and it's kind of weird. It feels a little bit more like a show. But like the people are interacting in the comments and like it's like a fun time. Like that stuff I could understand why people want to be a part of that. But just like watching people do things that you also do, like I'm watching you brush your teeth. You're not teaching me nothing. You know what I mean? Like, especially because I feel like people's idea about what my algorithm looks like is so swayed. Like my algorithm is DIY, home decor, space stuff because I'm really into space, and like inspirational quotes. Like I do not be up on none of these sounds, the dances and stuff. Like the kids really keep me young with that because I'd be like,
a bunch of food on mine and foxes. I want a fox.
foxes?
Yeah, a fox. Like the
Like
animal.
with the tail?
Yeah, I want a fox. So a bunch of fox videos we scroll on my. I want a fox.
How do people video foxes?
What do you mean? The people have pet foxes. It's a thing.
What kind of people?
All kinds of people. All kinds of people. They foster foxes. I want a fox. I want a white one now. I just saw a white one the other day. I want a white one.
You know what this feels very adjacent to? When they talk about succotash women, like rescuing like very vicious dog breeds and naming it like Cupcake, putting sweaters on it. So that's what this sounds like with you and this fox.
I don't think that's abnormal. I feel like people have foxes.
I've never heard of anybody having a fox.
Maybe because it's illegal. I don't know. But I do want a fox. That's a genuine like thing. I want a fox.
Who would you name your fox?
Foxy Brown.
That's so cool. What if it's a boy?
Foxy Brown.
It can't be Foxy Brown if it's a boy.
Hey. Realize Calvin's a girl name.
Calvin's a girl name? I've never met a girl. I've never heard of a girl named Calvin.
And it's a last name too. So I have 3 first names.
Calvin is a last name?
Yeah.
I feel like you made that up.
I swear. With the job I have, I talk to people from all across the country.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah, Calvin's the last name. I learned that.
Oh, wow.
And the second I learned that, I was in Slack. I was like, dang, I have 3 first names now.
So it's funny when I was putting in my parking thing, it was like last name. I was like, shit, what is his last name? I was like, oh yeah. I don't know why I thought that was your middle name. I was like, no, that's right, this is his last name.
Calvin Wayne Anthony.
Your middle name's Wayne?
Yep.
Yeah, you got 3 first names.
Shout out to Dad.
It's so funny because when people read my book, right, I wrote on their pen name. So they're like, Vaughn Taylor. Like, where does Vaughn come from? But Vaughn is short for Yvonne, which is my middle name. So
I didn't know that. You just taught me that.
Vaughn Taylor. And Taylor, because my favorite shoe for like my whole life was Chuck Taylor's. I've since
You did tell me
moved
that.
on. But yeah, but for like ever, like that's my favorite shoe. So yeah, Chuck Taylor.
Honestly, before I got in my relationship now, like dating was never hard. Like, cause I had 0 expectation when like, I didn't expect to like stay with this person forever. I just wanted to see what they was about. And if we moved along, we moved along. If we didn't, we didn't. Like, it didn't bother me.
So it's interesting. So my first ever relationship, right? Like I met my first love when I was 11. And he was 13. I was in 6th grade and 8th grade. I don't even want to talk about you because you make me sick. But this was a very like big person in my life, right? So like we dated on and off until I was 17. Then that, and it was kind of crazy because in that time, people like, when we would break up, people like, oh, I've been waiting to talk to you. I'm like, yeah, but when he come back around, I'm going back to like, it's really not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Like we can text, you know what I mean? Like whatever, right? So then the summer going away to college, I met my next boyfriend, and we were together on and off all throughout college, right? So I feel like I've been in like long-term, I've always been in like long-term relationships. And before, like you said, you go into these without expectations. Like, I like you, you like me. Like, let's just see where this goes. But I feel like I always, because I'm just like a very visual person. Like we talked about before, like I'm very delusional. Like within like the first couple of days, and I really know I like you, I'm starting to figure out if I like my name with your last name. Like, all right,
that's nuts.
It just is what it is, right? Like I feel like a lot of women are like that, right? I'm just like,
Facts.
oh, like, can I see my life with you, right? And I think I'm just like a very intrinsic person in that way. But yeah, so I approach relationships a lot differently now. And one, I'm different, right? And before I was young, like, and I always talk about, people are like, how are you still friends with him? Like, because you will have to look for proof that I existed at this point. Like, if I'm done with you, me and everything that you know about me is done with you too. Like, I go ghost on you real bad, like real bad. But like that ex and me, like the one that I dated in college, are still friends. It took a while for us to get there. We didn't talk for a couple of years, right? It took a while for us to get there. But in that relationship, he was my best friend. Like, that was my dog. Like, he had my back. Like, yeah, he was a cheater, but we were 18, 19, 20, 21, trying to have a very serious relationship in a time in our life where we should have just really
been chilling,
been focused on like going through school and everything else, right? So I forgive him for that. But yeah, like I am different now, right? Like I understand how I receive love. I understand that just because I love you doesn't mean you feel loved by me, and vice versa. I understand that the way I give love is not the way I receive love, right? Like I understand ego, right? I understand emotional intelligence. Like there's so many more things that I have to offer, right? And therefore so many more things that I look for in a partner, because at this point I'm 33. Yeah, it's cool to be cool and have fun, but the fun that I'm looking for is forever, right? Like I'm not going into every relationship like, oh, this is the person that I want to marry, but I'm not also going to go into this relationship knowing that you are somebody I 100% would not want to be with, because I'm just wasting my time. I don't want to waste my time. If it doesn't end up being forever, cool. But I'm not going to go into it knowing that that's not what this is, because that's just foolish. And I don't want to waste your time either. Wasting your time is also wasting mine. Yeah. And anybody that ever loved me still does and always will. So I don't even want to create that type of problem. Like, now I got a stalker. I've already had somebody try to take my life before. Like, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, you really can't play with people. You can't play with people.
You can't.
I've had people crash out on me before I knew what crash out was. And when you learn about what it is, like, yeah, I don't think that's funny. Like, girls be like, oh, I like my man crazy. I don't. Get help. Stay far away from me. I don't think any of that's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, none of the relationships I've ever been in like have ended like bad, except for the one you're aware of. Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I was in the bathroom thinking about that. She took the shower.
She took the tree.
That little bitch.
Maybe I have like some internal like issues with trees, because she took the tree. She took the Christmas tree. I think that might be a part of it. I think I need to seek some help. Maybe I don't like trees because you might buy the tree and then take it from me. Shout out to her. You know how like on TikTok they can like it tells you they viewed your shit.
You see, it doesn't show me mine because I turn mine off so nobody can see when I go to their page, so I can't see people going to mine.
Yeah, she be on my page. She got a dusty dude too. Like it makes sense that we didn't work because what would work for her is Dusty.
Ooh. I just seen this TikTok and it gave the best analogy, right? So it was, long story short, say somebody comes to your house, right? and you starving, you hungry, you ain't eating days, weeks, months, years, right? You're starving. And somebody's like, hey, I got pizza. You want some pizza? And you're like, yes, of course I want it. Like, okay, but I have to give it to you. I got to be able to come in. You're like, come on in. Like, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I have nothing, right? There's no food in this house. I haven't eaten forever. But if someone, same scenario, comes to your house and you have lots of food, or if you don't have lots of food, you have something to eat, right? Like, it may not be what you want, but like you have something. And they're like, hey, I have pizza. Do you want pizza? Yeah, sure. What kind? What kind of pizza is it? What toppings? Where'd you get it from? Right? Like, there's a little pushback, right? And like, oh, but if I give this to you, even if it's everything that you said that you wanted, they're like, yeah, it's pepperoni, it's this, is that, wah. Okay, but if I give you something to come in, you know what I mean? They're just like, I think about that as well. Like, there are a lot of people, not a lot of people, there are people who made it further with me or even got my attention that should have never got my attention. But
It's her.
Yeah,
like,
because of the
sure.
space that I was in, right?
Maybe that's why I want a fox too. Like, I want to take in like a foster fox because I think that's what I did with her. Like,
yeah,
for sure.
No,
I
it's real
sponsored
things.
her.
So in my next book that will be coming out soon, there's a poem that I wrote about this guy that I met here in Austin, and
Dang, giving out my location. I'm just like,
this guy that I met here in Austin, and he definitely was one of those people. Like, he never ever would have made it as far as with me as he did, but I have a love for broken things, right? Like, I, in my healing journey, realized that daddy issues are complex, right? Like, daddy issues are complex, and abandonment issues.
is that why you had
complex.
the hat?
What hat?
Daddy hat.
Nah, I had the daddy hat because I'm daddy. What? But yeah, so 2 things. I got the daddy issues that run for the hills. Like, I don't got the ones that like make you wanna, like, I gotta find a way to trap you so that you don't leave. Like, nah, I'm out. Right? Like, I'm gonna leave you before you leave me. And I really struggle with that because there are times where like it's fight or flight. I'm gone. Like, I'm gone. And like, when I met this person, I had in my healing journey learned that about myself. I'm like, wow, like, I leave people very quickly. Like, I don't really stick it out. Like, I get a hint that like something's wrong or that I don't feel like they're interested in me, and I'm out, right? Like, I'm not gonna let nobody leave me the way my dad left me. So I had learned about love languages. I learned about all these things. I was like, okay, the next person I date, I'm gonna use all this great information I just learned, and I'm gonna add it to this relationship. And I did that, but he was not the person to do it with, right? He was somebody who never should have made it more than a week with me. But one, he needed help, right? Like, he had like this great job and he was doing really great, and like very quickly in our relationship, like, he lost his job and he was like going through some things. Like, you know me, like, I'm a nice person. I'm like, oh, like, any way that I can help support you, like, I'll support you. But also, yeah, like, he never was, we were never supposed to share that space together. But there's like, in the poem that I wrote about him, I was like, my love for broken things would not let me walk away from you, right? Because in the past, even though I'm a leave before you got left type of person, not type of person, but like, that's one of my like defense mechanisms. Like, I'll leave before I get left. There's also something about me that wants to love people the way that I did not receive love, right? Like, you walked away from me so easily. Like, I don't want to be somebody that just walks away.
Hold that. Technical difficulties. That's how the game goes. Sometimes it gets too hot, and you're facts. Sometimes, as you guys know, it gets hot in here, so phone overheated. So
That's what it is.
cool. So we left off, and you were talking about your poem from your first love at 11 and 13. That's not what we left. That's exactly what we left off.
That's not where we left off.
Oh,
We
was
were
it Gunna
talking about
Fox?
Paul, but we want to talk about him.
Oh,
We were basically talking about the same with your ex, that this was a person. They
oh,
got
the
too
witch.
Far.
Oh, the witch. Okay,
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
They got too far.
All you
with
got to
us
say is witch. Just say witch, and I'll
based
know
off of the
exactly
fact
what we're
that
talking about.
we internally felt a need, right? So the person that showed up, even though they didn't have what we needed, or that we recognized that they had things that weren't necessarily that fit the bill for what we wanted, we welcomed them in because there was a need within us to fill that space, and we were willing to accept it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I definitely housed the witch. If you ever have housed a witch, it's not fun. I really don't know why we were together. Like, I can't imagine.
I know why y'all was together. She was thick. She's a cute girl.
Witches can be cute.
Yeah, this spells.
But honestly, I don't know. Like, all the red flags that were there in the start were also there in the end. Like, it was never a scenario where like I knew I should be fucking with her.
My therapist told me that before. It was like the red flags you ignore in the beginning are the ones you'll leave for in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, I like to see how red flags you can get.
No. Not to shout her out, but like, no, for sure, 1,000%. I knew for a fact we shouldn't have been in a relationship. And the best thing that actually ever happened to me with that scenario is it ended before the pandemic, because I know the pandemic for sure extended relationships that should never have been extended.
You know what was really scary? There was a statistic, I don't want to get dark, but there was a statistic about like domestic violence and like home abuse of children and women and people, and I'm sure men too, because abuse knows no gender, right? Mm-hmm. That it got really bad during COVID because people were stuck in the house together.
No, absolutely. I could not imagine what it would have looked like. And we lived together. So I couldn't even imagine what it would have looked like during that.
Yeah.
Like, we were already at the end of the relationship, but the pandemic happens right after, like a year after or whatever. Oh no, that would have been tough out.
What'd Drake say? 6 words when I think about you, crusty, musty.
Maybe not her physically, but maybe her mentally was all that. Like, crusty, dusty, evil.
Listen, the devil got gift wrapping abilities. If you never listen to anything that I say, know that. The devil got gift wrapping abilities, and many times it's a February Aquarius.
I don't know what her birthday was. I've braced her, so I don't know what she was.
That video that I made about February Aquarius is like it gets so many likes every day. And I'm like, why do people keep finding this video? February Aquariuses are the origin to my villain story. And they always find me. It's the nuttiest thing ever. And like, I'm not somebody to be like, when's your birthday? Because I want to, like, I really have to ask. When is your birthday? Because if you was born, and at this point, I'm at a January Aquarius and he wasn't no better. If you are born in the first 3 weeks of February, you see me, you don't see me. If I'm here, you go there. Don't speak. The women know I love February Aquarius women in general. We get along so well. But the men get help. Help. And women, we need to start taking some responsibility. Start tracking y'all cycles. Flow app is real good, very accurate. Don't conceive a child in whatever month is going to lead you to having a February
making them
child.
anymore. That's how you stop
That's
making
the problem. I mean, that's the solution. You gotta get real Thanos, like nip that in the bud. It should be illegal to conceive during those whatever months.
October, November.
Yeah. So that's what, Halloween, Thanksgiving.
Wait, I gotta think now. Hold on, that's not right. 3 months ahead. So May-ish. So don't do nothing in May.
Y'all getting drunk on Cinco de Mayo and y'all getting pregnant.
That's what it is.
Nuts.
That's the one.
Do better. Tighten up. I want better for you.
You know what's funny? Like that, if that relationship had continued, this would never have happened. This podcast and shit would have never happened.
Yeah.
Because she had crazy ego. I couldn't talk to anybody who wasn't her. That was a female. This podcast would never fucking have existed. She would have nipped it in the bud.
Remember she tried to say something? You had me over because you had cooked and you was trying to figure out. It was, I think, steak and Alfredo. And she was like, that's why her nails ain't done. Bitch, I could buy you and then nail tech you every motherfucking better. You dumb. Like, that. I think about that like.
I wish that I could pull up like a photo of the dude she's with now and like you can see the dust through the phone. Like, it makes sense to me again. Like, it makes so much sense to me why we didn't work. You like dust mites. I'm not a dust mite.
8 words when I think about you.
Like, yeah. But anyways, what else we gonna talk about? We got some more time left, I think, allegedly. Did Five Below close at 11?
Okay. Five Below closes when?
At 11.
You speaking of closing, you know what I want to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
HEB need to go back to being open till 1 a.m.
It's never going to happen. Like, my mom works for HEB, right? It's
to
legit never going to happen.
It needs to happen.
They save money on employees. People don't want to work till 1 a.m. Like,
since when do corporations care about what people want? We used to be a proper country. Exploitation for capitalism. Come on.
It's never going to go back. I wish it was open later because, like, I get off at 10. So, like, they're only open an hour.
HEB needs to go back to being closed at 1 a.m. Walmart needs to go back to being 24 hours. Y'all ain't have nobody working in there anyway.
Just talking about that. Saving money.
What money are y'all saving? Y'all have one cashier.
They got to pay them $16 an hour now.
Wally World, get it together. The Waltons are stinking filthy rich. They can afford to pay them people $16 an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? Honestly, so HEB, that's a big one because HEB needs to go back to being 1 a.m. Walmart, because sometimes you want to make cornbread at 3 o'clock and you need stuff. I'm always out of butter. Always. Yeah.
Get that gas station butter.
It's below me. Okay, I ain't no gas station butter.
Get that gas station butter, that 7-Eleven butter.
Offended.
Have you been to, when's the last time you went to the Domain?
The Domain?
Mm-hmm.
Recently. Not for like nightlife. Like I had went, we went to go get Jenny's ice cream, and then I was like, oh, Velvet Taco, I haven't had it in a while. So then we went and got tacos, and then we got Jenny's, and then we went home. So the thing that I really like to do at the Domain, and I'll say this because y'all ain't never going to see me there. I pride myself in being someone that nobody ever runs into. Is like go get Jenny's ice cream and then sit and people watch. People watching is my favorite thing to do.
I ran into you in Walmart once upon a time.
Yeah,
buying a trash can.
I was getting
buying a new trash can from the trash can that she took.
Because I used to be a river rat. I used to go floating on the river every Sunday, and that's what I was getting supplies to do that. I remember.
Have you been to? So they opened up that like that IKEA in the Domain. It's like a mini. It's a mini IKEA. Like it's like literally 6-7 minute walk across it. It's really small.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you could tell me that there was a Disneyland downtown, and I'd have to believe you. I'm so comfortable under this rock I live in. Like I don't leave the house, and I really just have mastered the art of minding my business. Like if it don't pertain,
I only say that because like, isn't Jenny's ice cream that place across the street from H&M?
No, Jenny's is across the street from like Wonder Bar. Like it's on Rock.
Oh, okay, that's a different ice cream place. There is another ice cream place.
You're talking about the Museum of Ice Cream.
No, it's before that, but it's like right across the street from H&M and across the street from California Pizza Kitchen. But there's an ice cream place. Didn't we go to an ice cream place?
Oh, is that like Yard something?
I don't know what it is, but like the IKEA is next to H&M.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know where H&M is, but I've been boycotting H&M for years.
They never have my size.
For that little monkey thing.
Oh, the monkey thing on the little model, little black kid model. Yeah.
What are you geeking for? But yeah, so I haven't been to H&M in years, and honestly, I only go to the Domain to go to certain restaurants.
Yeah.
I feel like in this conversation, I keep saying places that I be at. Like, I just call myself like there are certain restaurants I go to at the Domain, but I usually get to go anyway.
Yeah, same. Isn't I was about to say something about Velvet. Did their prices increase?
Who?
Velvet.
Yes.
Right? Thought I was tripping.
Tacos are like $8. I'm like, y'all are geeking. This taco is worth all of the $4 it was when I started eating it.
$4.75, yes. $4.50.
Their tacos are $8. Like you don't even want to get you, and it's not even the money; it's the principle.
Facts. 2 tacos and some elote cost me $17.99.
Geeking. Cause ain't nothing different about it. The chicken ain't no bigger. The fresh toppings ain't no fresher. Like, and matter of fact, that night that we went to Velvet Taco, I got real sick.
Oh shit!
Like
Velvet.
That night, it like ruined our little movie night because we got ice cream, we had tacos, and I ate a taco on the way home because I was hungry. And the rest of that night, we had to start watching the movie. I was in and out of the bathroom like every 4 minutes. Like it just messed it up. So Velvet Taco, y'all owe me a date night.
They opened another Velvet up the street here in Round Rock. So I don't think
I've seen one off at 35.
I think that's the one.
And I get to be a passenger princess now. So
I think that's.
I be noticing stuff.
Yeah. I think that's the one because I don't think I'll ever go back to the domain.
Are you
to
sure
get
this is on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know. It just don't sound like I can hear myself anymore.
You don't
Jamming
have
on the one,
headphones
jamming
on.
on the one.
You could have never heard yourself.
You been wearing headphones this whole time?
Yes.
That's nuts.
You could have never heard yourself without these headphones on, but I can hear you. That's all that matters.
Ego. You want to know what ego is? Ego.
I want a fox.
Think about it though. Would the fox be happy?
Yes.
What are you adding to the fox's life as you adopt it? Like
Foxy Brown. Say their name. Foxy Brown.
Foxy's gonna come to your home. What type of exercise do foxes require?
We'll figure it out, man. We
No,
gotta. Step 1 is getting the fox. Step 2 is figuring out what the fox likes to do.
No.
Step 3.
No. Listen, I was about to say, I didn't want to say it, but this is exactly how children come into the world and get fucked up. Because we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as something for billionaires who have lots of resources and time.
Step 1 is get the fox.
Step 1 is research.
Once we accomplish getting the fox, then we look into what the fox needs.
Step 1 is research. Discovery. Remember that? Discovery. Step 1, because what type of climate does it thrive in? What type of food does it need? What
If
type of exercise
San
does it require?
Antonio can have giraffes walking around a resort, I can get a fox.
Resort.
With a cage. My fox would not be a cage fox. My fox would be able to roam the crib, however it like. And I'll teach it how to fetch.
Don't foxes have social anxiety?
I don't know.
You said teach a fox how to fetch?
Yeah, teach a fox how to
Why are you
fetch.
trying to get a dog?
A dog?
Yes.
I don't want a dog. I want a fox.
They're the same thing.
Fox, let's say I have a fox,
You just
right?
aesthetically want a fox, but you want to train it to be a dog.
Foxes don't fetch already?
All right. What else we gonna talk about? Because you stressing me out. It's making me hotter. And you talking about the air wouldn't have been on anyway. We in Texas, it's 80 degrees today. It don't matter. It's December 14th.
No,
It's
it wouldn't have
80
been. It wouldn't have
degrees.
been on because you could be able to hear it. Like it would sound just like AC blowing in the mic. Like the mics would pick it up. Yeah. It would not be. It would not be the best listen. But yeah, I'm gonna get a fox, guys. Give me a fox. Robin, give me a fox.
I don't like the way he just asked you that. It was
She asked me to get her a turtle. I want a fox.
Did she say, Calvin, give me a turtle?
Yeah,
I don't think so. She's a very sweet girl.
I definitely said I want it. I didn't say give me.
you did say that.
I said I want one.
You said to get you a turtle, and I said there's a
turtle?
pond right over there, and we can get you a turtle.
You don't want a wild turtle.
So,
They hood over here.
what are they consuming? and shit?
Yeah.
Liquor bottles, Taco Bell.
You don't want no Austin turtle. Get you one from Africa like they do the
giraffes?
people be sponsoring kids or wherever you need to sponsor a turtle.
I did see a lady on my TikTok that has a possum as a pet.
So I have some people in my family who are country, and they eat possum.
I've eaten possum.
Yeah, they say it's like no, you have to clean it real well, but they say it's like no fat.
So I won't say that this is my family per se because it's not really my family, but like my family's from very, very, very rural Mississippi. That's why I have 3 first names. And roadkill cooking is a thing. Like hitting an animal, there's trucks that drive along certain roads and they pick them up, cut them up, put them in soup. That's a thing. And I didn't have possum in Mississippi, but I did have possum here. But it was like it wasn't a soup. It was like a what is it called? What's it called? It was like a stir fry. It was like a stir fry. And you could have told me it was any other meat that people normally eat, but like I couldn't tell the difference. It was actually pretty good.
You know what? You like Benihana, right? You're the one who told me you like Benihana.
I've never been to Benihana's. There's not a Benihana's here.
There's a Benihana food truck that be outside of the clubs in Houston.
Really?
Yeah, and I could have sworn you was the one that said that you like Benihana.
I like hibachi.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I made you hibachi.
Benihana is
So you can't
food.
ever say I never made you food.
That was back when the pod was about eating.
Yeah, it's not anymore, right? So the expectation of food is kind of nuts.
Wow, didn't know that hosting. You're still hosting me.
Kinda. You're like fam now. What was the in the club thing?
In the club, we all fam. Like I said that for like 2 weeks straight. I was gonna let everybody know that. It was so funny to me. In the club, we all fam. Which is really true. I've met the nicest girls in the world in the bathroom in the club, in bars and restaurants. They're like, "Oh, girl, here." Like I had on a bodysuit the other day that like literally covered my like it was a complete bodysuit. Like, it's basically a morph suit but without the head. Right? It was like the what is that neck called? It's the turtleneck, but it's like not like a high turtleneck. What's it called?
That's what I think you would have went. I don't know.
I know what it's a mock neck.
Oh,
yeah, it's a mock neck, and it literally had like the gloves and the feet, everything, right? And I was with my friend at a football game, and I was like, I use the restroom, and he's like, oh, you want me to go with you? How you want to go? And I was like, somebody in there is gonna help me, like because I'm a girl's girl, and I attract girls. And I went in there, and sure enough, I was like, can somebody unzip me? And they sure did, and they waited till I finished tinkling, and then they unzipped me back up, and I went over my day, and I told her she was cute. I liked her lashes. She said she liked my outfit and my hair. And we went on about our day.
Is that a girl's girl or like an actual girl's girl, like in real life situations?
Oh, no, I'm a girl's girl through and through. I'm a girl's girl. I'm a guy's girl. I'm just a people person.
Without the ego. Now.
Yeah. I'm a great friend.
Yeah.
Y'all just see progress. Good words to each other at random times. Like, I get so caught off guard sometimes. Like, okay. It's only y'all two that can do that too. I think it's hilarious. It's good.
Do you know why? Do you know why I made the clip?
No.
So I made the
I was actually surprised. I was like, didn't we do this back in like January?
Yes. Because I don't know if I want to say it. Why?
You already started. That drives me nuts. Ooh, the quickest way to piss me off is to start to say something and be like, never mind. I'm ready to flip a table over.
I never listened to it. I don't listen to these. I think I'm on episode like 15 of me like listening to them. And I went
How'd
in
you get to that one?
because it came up in my like memories. And I was like, I never listened to this one. We probably had a good pod, I would think. So I went and listened to it. I was like, oh, she's saying some shit. So I went and cut it up. I cut up into the three. Look, when it comes to like clips, like I'll get a whole like 6 to 7 minute like period of the pod, and I'll cut it into 3, and then I'll give them like in my mind like ratings of which one should I put out. I'll be like, this is for sure the A clip. This is the B clip. This is the C clip, or whatever. And that clip to me was the C clip, and for some reason at like 9 o'clock at night, I was like, I think I want to put the C one out, the one that I think, because there's 2 other fire clips that are like that I clipped up, but I thought this one is like super fire.
I really don't remember what we talked about.
I didn't remember anything.
I can understand how like you don't go back to listen to them, but honestly, because like she said like, and you said like we're family, like this is just such an organic space. I didn't come here prepared to talk about anything.
Same.
You know what I mean? Just like, it just kind of like go with the flow type things. Just like, yeah, I can imagine that like now I don't remember what we talked about that day because we was just kicking it.
That's why I was asking her 40 times, like, do you got anything we can talk about? I don't know. Just cut the camera on and let it go. That's why you're so awkward at the beginning. I was like, why are you so awkward right now? What are you doing right now?
I am uncomfortable because my skirt is super short and it's barely covering my bum on this chair. So there's that. And I'm hot.
Yeah, it is hot up in here for sure.
Yeah.
So second book, that's on the way?
Yes, second. So actually 2. So you know about the morning, the motivational message or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing that for the last 3 years. And I changed the frequency. It was Monday through Friday, but now it's just Monday and Friday. And honestly, because I have just been fighting for my life these last couple of weeks, I ain't even been doing that. And I'm really sorry, y'all. I'm going to get back on track, but I decided that I'm going to just take all of the things that I have been sending over the last 3 years and put them in a book and call it Good Morning, because you know that's how it starts off. But yeah, my second book is going to be called The Late Hour. That is the name of the blog that I used to have, and I just kept everything that I do creative under that name. That's also the name of my t-shirt company, The Late Hour, because what I ended up doing was, again, heartbreak hobby, keep them guys that make you money. So I was literally on a Facebook marketplace, hate to see me coming. Like, I'll be on there every day.
Yeah.
Just like buying some really cool shit, right? And like, you gotta be smart. You gotta set it to the rich area. So mine set for bee caves, like bee caves in Westlake, and I'm getting some real nice stuff. So like, somebody had a Cricut and a heat press, and I was like, oh, my sister used to do this. That'd be cool, right? I'm like, it'd be fun. And like, at first, I just started like making stuff just like to see what I could make. And then I got into tie dyeing. So like, I invested like some money into like these really like commercial dyes, and started making this cool shit. And people started liking it. And that's how I got the contract with Munch Munch. Like, I was in there one day with a tie dye shirt. He's like, that shirt's so cool. Where'd you get it? I was like, I made it. He's like, you made it? We need shirt. And like, it all just kind of like went that way, right? I'm not talking to Tater Q about making shirts for them as well.
I need to try them.
I liked the food that I had from there. It was very good. What I will say is the food is good. The customer service is great. It takes too long. It takes way too long.
So like there was a restaurant in that same building that also made baked potatoes prior to it. It's called Stuff 'em. And they used, like, not Tater Q, but Stuff 'em used HEB frozen brisket and put it on a potato, and I knew instantly because I remember eating that shit as a kid. I'm like, they went down the street and got this frozen brisket and put it on a potato and charged $22 for it.
That's nuts.
That was nuts. I never went back, so I don't know if I.
You know what I will say? I have a grievance with Tater Q. They have like a real good banana pudding cupcake, right? So I had asked them. I was like, "Hey, is this a local bakery?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's it called?" Crickets. and I even tried to get them one time. I messaged them on Facebook and asked, because at one point I was like, oh, like, I'm about to go to like a girls' night. I'm gonna bring these cupcakes. Wouldn't respond back to me after I said what I wanted. I called one day, tried to catch them slipping one time. I'm like, yo, this is not the Krabby Patty formula. What? Who makes these cupcakes? It's not y'all. And y'all blocking somebody's blessing. You feel me? Like, I'm like, this is so, y'all geeking. So if Tater Q is watching this, great service, great food. Your food take too long, no. And who makes them goddamn cupcakes?
There's a like a very like super viral dessert place in Pflugerville. I'm gonna get you what it is because I don't eat desserts, but I've been.
Is it something Granny's?
Think so.
Granny's something?
Yeah, I think so.
So they used to have a food truck at what's that place I really like? Cajun Eats. Cajun Eats, when they had that food truck park before they got their brick and mortar. That place had like a small food truck over there. They're very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the exact place that you're talking about,
Granny,
but like
Cranky Granny or something like that.
Yeah, I someone who knows her because she's the owner is a woman. Someone who knows her wants me to have her on the pod, and I just haven't been able to. I just haven't had time to like figure that out.
She brings some stuff to try, and then make sure you invite me.
Because I've been looking to do an episode in a restaurant. So I have not a close friend, but like a casual friend. She owns the Jerk Shack in San Antonio.
Well, if you watching this, y'all not cool.
We are cool. Like it's. I'm just saying, we're not like super friends. Like I'm not.
Why does it even matter? If you're not super friends, but you're friends, you still fall under the wheelhouse of friends.
No, I got layers. I got levels to this shit.
Stress me out.
But like, we're cool, and like I want to do an episode in the Jerk Shack. She just got the Michelin star recommendation, so that's when like your restaurant is considered, and then the board or whatever who actually gives out Michelin stars decides if it is Michelin star quality. So shout out to the Jerk Shack in San Antonio.
Shout out to you, young lady.
Really good.
That's awesome.
She's older than you. She's not a young lady.
Jesus.
But no, shout out to her. But yeah, I'm gonna try Tater Q. Have you ever been to anything baked downtown? Really, really good. Like
anything, is it anything baked or anything baked?
Anything baked.
You know what? That's all I want to say. Stop putting Hennessy and stuff. It drives me crazy. Oh, did you hear about Turkey Leg Hut?
Yes, I told her they closed. Yeah.
They weren't paying their bills.
They weren't paying
it's
their
funny
bills.
because I know somebody that has been at U.S. Foods for like 40 years. That's crazy. How do you not pay your vendors?
And then charging
How do you
people
not pay the city?
Paying $100 to just like be in the area, like to be there, to go there.
Because I remember one time I was on here and we were talking about how
the $100 fee.
Yeah, the fee for the table. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it because technically they are a restaurant. They were a restaurant.
But so I felt like they were so busy that you didn't have to do stuff like that. Like,
well, my thing is, it was encouraging people to not take up space at tables who weren't there to eat. Mm-hmm. That made sense to me. Because if you gonna order food and drinks, you gonna run that bill at that $100 minimum ain't nothing. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, shout out to them though. I mean, I had the turkey leg. It was an average turkey. It wasn't anything. Yeah. You can't make a turkey leg not a turkey leg. Is what I'm saying. Like, no matter what toppings you put on the fucking turkey leg, it's still just a smoked turkey leg.
They really just made it because the food was okay.
I didn't eat there. I think was it you and your sister that went?
And see, I enjoyed camp better. Like camp, their food was a lot better. You know where I love?
Where?
Lost and Found. Lost and Found has the best wings. They have honey lemon pepper wings. Ooh. This double chin would not be going nowhere if I was in Houston. Every time I go to Houston, I go to Lost and Found. It is my favorite.
I've never been there.
It's very good.
Every time I go to Houston, like, I won't say every time because like I used to live there for a little bit, but like the last time I went, I don't think I'm going to go to Houston again for a very, very long time.
So I always have a great time when I go to Houston, but I would never live there because Houston is too much like home. It's too much like Baltimore.
It took 5 hours to get there. There was so much traffic.
I had to turn around so quick.
Like we got there within the 3 hours range, right? But we sat in traffic for like hours. We booked the Westin that's attached to the Galleria, right? Mm-hmm. So, but it took 2 hours. Like we got there. I know it was my fault for getting there in the middle of fucking regular day traffic and shit like that. But like 2 hours in traffic, going bumper to bumper, and it was raining like crazy.
And people here don't know how to drive in the sun, so they damn sure know how to drive.
It was just bumper to bumper, bumper to bumper, bumper to bumper. 5 hours.
No. And
then when we were down, like it rained the whole time there, right? Like driving the whole time it rained. It rained the whole time back, and like heavy rain. And I think I took like a back road trying to like figure some shit out. It was crazy.
That's what happened to me trying to get here. I took a back road. I took Sam Bass trying to like weave through
the traffic. It's still traffic, right?
And it still brought me right back. I was like,
yeah. I don't know if I'm going to Houston again. But the experience, it was fun. We tried to go to Trill Burger to go eat one of Bun B's burgers. It was a wash. It was so fucking packed.
That's funny.
It was so packed. They cut off the drive-through. Like they said, no more drive-through.
Listen, I mean, it happens. But yeah, so my second and third book will be out soon. I really had this year has just been crazy. I can't believe it's December already.
Yeah, 2025. They said the highway will be finished in 2032.
What highway?
I-35. They're expanding the highway to 6.
I honestly just think they're trying to create jobs because
Why?
I've lived in Austin for 7 years, and for 7 years y'all been doing that same construction. I don't even think the little cones have moved.
No,
they're
doing some physical stuff. Like when you leave here, you'll see it. Like they're expanding it to 7 to 8 lanes, like the highway.
Why would they do that?
There's a lot of people here now. I guess I don't know.
How you deal with that?
That's why there's traffic right now. They're doing like the overpasses. They're physically expanding those currently. Like if you go like when you go downtown, if you haven't been down in a while, you're gonna see it's like 2 lanes.
I've been downtown. Downtown. I know people get so frustrated with me because I really wanted people like you cannot say nothing to me and I could not think of a word. Like the game word association, people don't even want to play it with me because I just dominate.
Ego.
Got a big ego. It's so annoying, but I can't help it. But yeah, so.
Oh, we're doing it again. It's out of. All right, technical issues once again. We potted too hard. I think the shit was too fire. So we potted way too hard. So another issue with it being a little hot in here, but no worries. I'm actually gonna do a New Year's episode.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do a successful New Year's pod. Hopefully, because last New Year's pod, which is the 2023 year, there was so much in the pod I had to remove. It wasn't worth putting it out. I would
invite myself, but y'all don't have elevator here, and I'm gonna be in a boot.
We can figure something. You want us to carry you or something?
Listen. Anyway, so you know what? My closing remark would be:
talking the mic is mine.
Do it now. Everybody want to wait until the new year to be new, to be better, to be rejuvenated, to try harder. Do it now. Mm-hmm. If you had a knife in your back now, you would not wait until December 31st, till January 1st to take it out. If there's something that you have identified that is holding you back, that is preventing you from being the best version of yourself, that's preventing you from growth, from expansion, do it now. Because you might not make it to January 1st. And more importantly, your bad habits or the things that you are identifying that are holding you back, it don't even make sense. Like, I don't even want to get into it. Do it now. Do it. What are you waiting for? You should have been doing it in February when somebody told you that you were selfish. You should have been doing it in July when somebody told you you was lazy. You should have been doing it in August when you realized that you are the reason that you are not getting ahead in your endeavors to be successful. Do it now.
Fix that ego too. Like now.
Yeah. Listen, separate yourself from your ego. You know what? I know it sounds silly, but like I feel lighter. As like I try, like the more things that I work through, like I feel lighter. Like I feel like my existence is lighter.
Yeah, her ego's heavy.
It is. Big Dottie, not the little one.